Sales leaders, welcome to Q4. My son says I'm a dream killer. I prefer realist. And so that's why when sales reps come to me all excited about all the deals they're gonna close all by December 31st, I say to them, that's great, super excited for you, but how's your pipeline gonna look on January 1st? Nobody really wants to talk about that as bells are ringing and deals are closing in October, November, and December. But the fact of the matter is, you as a sales leader, you ought to be worried. There were plenty of years where I walked into the office on January 2nd, took a look at the Salesforce pipeline, only to realize I was nowhere near enough deals in the pipeline to hit the Q1 quota. Like nowhere near. This is a common problem, particularly if you're in the SaaS world. You know what? We call it the hockey stick, right? So nothing happens, and then, oh my gosh, you sell 3/4 of the pipeline between December 15th and December 31st. Again, super exciting time. Lots of high fives, lots of champagne popping. But come on January 2nd, you are gonna pay for all of that. So let's not worry about that this year. Let's make sure that we're gonna have enough deals in the pipeline in order to hit our Q1 quota as well. We're gonna need to rely on some people, maybe outside of the sales department, for some help. So let's talk about what you can be doing now with your team and maybe who you need to be partnering up with in other departments throughout the organization. Department number one I would hit up, the marketing department. Marketing is always our friend, but they can be super besties during Q4. While we're out closing deals, marketing should be thinking about all the things that they could be doing now, like content campaigns, white papers, maybe even putting an ebook together, but they need to be hitting the ground running with us on January the 2nd. What conferences can we be going to? Those always start back up at the beginning of the year. How about webinars that we can be putting on? How about roundtables with some of our best prospects and clients? We need to make sure that marketing is warming everything up right now and making sure that there's going to be attendance at all of those Q1 events. So get with your VP of marketing or your CMO, sit down, let's have a Q4 strategy session. I know you're just focused on making sure you get your end of the year bonus. Well, you're gonna need your bonus in 2024 too, my friend. So partner up with the marketing department. Let's come up with a really good strategy to, again, maybe even help us close some deals this quarter, but really get us set up so when we hit the ground running on January 2nd, events are gonna be there, content is gonna be there, ready to go when we walk in the door. Here's another idea. How about a closed lost campaign? Get that warmed up and ready. Start that in Q4. How many people have told you no over the last several months or several years? Those are all people that are already warm. Why do we want to start cold outbound prospecting right now when we could be touching warmer people? Again, perhaps the marketing department can help with this, or if you have an SDR team, which we're going to talk about more in a minute, you should definitely get them involved in this. Go back, pull everybody who told you no in the last 12 months and start prospecting out to them. The most important time for budget, Q4, Q1. They know what they're gonna have in Q4 because they've planned for the next quarter. They're gonna get access to that money in Q1, but if you've got a net 30 situation, you can sell them something in December and they can pay for it in January. Or wait till they come in January 2nd and get them to close the deal then, so it comes out of their 2024 budget. These are all things that you can be doing. I love these closed lost campaigns. I always say to myself, you don't have to spell your name again. You don't have to tell them what you do. And by chance, if the contact that you had worked with in the past is no longer there, this sounds like a bummer, but this is actually a double whammy. So now you have a new person that you can talk to. Again, if you've been multi-threading and you've been doing your job as a salesperson correctly or a sales leader, you actually didn't have just one contact at that company. So you can reach out to those other folks. But your main champion or influencer, they went somewhere else? Guess who you should be picking up the phone and congratulating and putting in a call into? Yep, that's right, that's a double whammy. So get your closed lost campaign together now and get that stuff warmed up. That may actually happen in Q1. A lot of the reasons why people tell you in are in, not right now, I don't believe in no. The reason they told you in are in, not right now, is because they didn't have the budget for it. Well, guess what? they're getting a whole big pile of money on January 2nd. Let's be talking to them right now. Third, I would definitely be talking to your SDR team. Hopefully you have an SDR team. Maybe you even have an SDR leader if you're big enough. Well, this is where the SDR team could really benefit you. They're not closing any deals in Q4. They got nothing but time on their hands as usual. I know, Q4 is a really difficult time to get a hold of people. When the SDR team calls out, all they ever hear is, yeah, call me in January, I'm trying to close out my year. Okay, but what if we collected all those call me in January people and then we actually call them in January? So some of those people, you might be able to get 15 or 20 minutes on their calendar now and set yourself up for Q1. But if nothing else, what if your SDR team walked in on January 2nd and had 50 people each that told them, call me in January? Well, that's gonna keep them busy for a while and give you a head start at Q1. So let's partner up with that SDR team now and see if we can get them starting to make some magic happen for Q1. The fourth place I would go in your organization, your customer success or account management team. I would definitely be having lunch with this leader. These people are in tune with your customers and talking to them on a day-to-day basis. Guess what I find that most companies don't have? A formal referral program. It's a big mistake. In fact, I know a lot of consultants out there that have built their whole career on teaching people how to put formal referral programs in place. You already have happy customers that know how your product or service can benefit individuals. And they're probably members of their association, they're probably connecting with others within their industry, even people who aren't competitors of theirs, and they would be willing to make an introduction for you. The other thing that I know that account management and customer success department can help you with, upsell, cross-sell. That's right. They're on the front lines. They're talking to your customers all the time. They're gonna know before anybody else if somebody is ready for a new product or service or an expansion of the existing product or service that they've purchased. So you really need to get and partner with these folks. This is an extension, right? I mean, this is whole part of the buyer and customer journey. Starts with the prospecting and you and your net new sales team, but it ends with the customer success and the account management team. And they know better than anybody what's going on in the market. So reach out to that leader and tell them what you're concerned about. Tell them that you're worried about walking into Q1 with a zero pipeline. And why don't you guys put some brainstorming together? Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you also invite the marketing leader to join you all? I bet between you and the head of marketing and the head of customer success, you guys can come up with a pretty solid strategy to make sure that you don't walk into Q1 in a deficit. No one likes an anemic pipeline, especially your CEO. So let's make sure we don't go into Q1 with one of those. So here are some ideas about things that you could do right now in Q4 to set yourself and your team up for success in Q1 2024. If you liked this tip, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got lots of other ideas just like this one to help you close out Q4 and make sure that you hit quota in Q1 as well. Until then, thanks for listening.